In 1933, this copper axe became the first mascot of NAU. Immediately, it was worshipped among students, being paraded through the streets of Flagstaff and present at all school events. It was a beloved symbol, and everything was great for the school and its new mascot. That was until it was stolen. The incident takes place back in November of 1933, just months after the axe was cast and given to NAU. Except back then it was called the Arizona State Teachers College, and there was another one down in Tempe, which would later become Arizona State University. These two colleges had a friendly yet competitive rivalry, especially when it came to football. The Lumberjacks head coach even stated they would rather take Tempe's scalp over any other opponent. Metaphorically, of course. But throughout the late 20s and early 30s, it wasn't much of a rivalry. The Flagstaff team was just better, and the losses were starting to have a notable effect on Tempe's school spirit. On top of that, the Flagstaff College now had this really cool axe that they get to flaunt around after each of their victories.
The axe is a potent symbol. I mean, if we were going to call ourselves Lumberjacks, having an axe made of one of the 5 C's for Arizona, that was cool.
But then someone asked, well, what if we just stole the axe? That person was Vernon Tuckey, the defensive end and student body president for the Tempe College. He had devised a plan to reinvigorate some pep into the Tempe campus. And what better way to do that than by poaching your rival's brand new mascot? So, Tuckey recruited 6 students from the freshman football team to do just that. The students did their research and found that the axe was kept in a safe located behind the front desk of the business building, and more importantly, that the safe was left open every Wednesday for payday. So, here's how it went down. After arriving in Flagstaff, 2 of the Tempe students made their way to the front desk, where they pretended to be registering for classes. And as soon as the clerk turned her back, one of them jumped over the desk, grabbed the axe out of the open safe, and fled the scene in their vehicles. It was that easy. The plan was simple, but it had worked. News breaks amongst the Flagstaff campus right after, and classes were immediately dismissed. Roadblocks were set up all across town. Local police, faculty, and students hopped in their cars and were in hot pursuit of the 6 thieves.
This was the biggest thing to happen on campus for a long time.
The Tempe students had a head start. This was their road back to campus, where Tuckey and the entire Tempe student body eagerly awaited their return with the coveted axe. They made it here. Just 30 miles from where they had nabbed their rival's mascot, they were apprehended. Police turned the students over to NAU's president Thomas Tormey. He saw the incident as nothing more than a prank and decided not to press charges. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the thieves were off the hook. President Tormey decided that any punishment should be determined by the students of Flagstaff, who ultimately came to the ruling of public humiliation. The 6 freshmen had their bodies painted NAU blue and gold, with each receiving a fresh buzz cut. They were then paraded through downtown Flagstaff and dubbed the 6 Hairless Wonders. So I guess you could say, as a manner of speaking, the Lumberjacks did get Tempe's scalps.
It just seems like it was a time period where stuff like that could happen and no one really got too dinged. I mean, yeah, the guys did get painted and their hair got shaved, but hey, it could have been worse.
In the end, Tempe's attempt to steal the copper axe was unsuccessful. But Vernon Tuckey made it known that future attempts of capturing the copper axe once more were on the horizon. Unfortunately for Tucky, NAU has decided to up their security practice since the incident, making this much harder to get your hands on.